start in Valley play, winning their first 2 games in conference play, and tonight they travel on the road to Central Illinois, Normal Illinois, as they take on the Illinois State Redbirds, who have won their first 2 conference games in Valley play. Mikhail Makutash and the Redbirds getting set to battle the Bears in our Valley Game of the Week. Welcome to Normal, Illinois, as Edna proudly presents our Missouri Valley Conference Game of the Week from Redbird Arena. Tonight, the Missouri State Bears get set to take on the Redbirds of Illinois State. Happy New Year, one and all. Great to be back with the Catman, Dave Kaplan, Scott Warman with you. Cap, we've got a great matchup here tonight. 2 of the top teams in the Valley right now doing battle here in Central Illinois.
Right, and they are both off to a good start. They look and go, Wichita State's really tough to beat. They're probably going to win at home tonight over Drake. You got to keep pace. So if Missouri State looks at it and says, we go on the road, we get one at Illinois State, huge win early in conference play. For Illinois State, you have to defend the home court.
All right, for Missouri State, they have the best newcomer in the Valley this season in Alizé Johnson.
This kid is so multifaceted as a player. He can post you and score. He can knock down the perimeter jump shot. He can take the ball off the board and bring it up the court. I don't know how you defend him. He also plays with a real high motor, makes him very tough to guard. You see him here in transition. This kid can do it all. Had 15 boards on Saturday, 30 points, and he averages almost 10 boards a game.
Cap, we know there is no more Van Vliet and Washburn, so this is the new king of the Valley in point guard.
Yeah, I love Paris Lee. Love watching how this kid's career has developed. He's a tough Chicago kid out of Proviso East. Got his 1,000th career point. He also has 300 or more career assists, 200 steals. He's only the second player in ISU history to turn that trick.
What a battle we have here tonight in Normal. It's the Bears and Birds starting lineup, saying opening tip of our Valley Game of the Week. It's coming up next. The Missouri Valley Conference Game of the Week is brought to you by Aetna. Aetna invests in game-changing programs that make being healthy simpler and more convenient than ever. Get to know us at Aetna.com. By Purina Dog Chow, always crafted in the USA since 1926. By State Farm. Team up with an agent today at 800 State Farm. And by Casey's General Store. Casey's, famous for pizza. Redbird Arena, Normal, Illinois, Valley Game of the Week, brought to you by Aetna. Illinois State getting set to take on the Missouri State Bears. All right, let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. A presentation of Casey's General Store. Casey's, famous for pizza. Dave Kaplan, 4 returning starters for Dan Muller's squad from last year into this season.
It's also a veteran club in terms of how they approach the game. This team will be very, very tough to beat here on their home court. That's a talented Missouri State team, but this is a step up. To get a win here, I can't begin to tell you how big that would be for the Bears.
There you see Ryan Klecklow getting the start for Paul Luff's squad, as Ronnie Russo will not play in tonight's game. He suffered an ankle injury. All right, let's take a look at Cap's keys to tonight's matchup, made possible by Grinnell Mutual Insurance, where we provide a policy of working together.
Well, for the Bears, drive and kick. Run with some discipline. Drive and kick means these small guards, get into the paint, find your shooters at the wing. For Illinois State, you got to go inside out. Kick it in, best way to a clean perimeter look by going in, out, and it's got to be one and done for the Bears. You cannot allow this team to start to make a living on the offensive glass.
This guy could fill the cup in high school. He is an Illinois Basketball Hall of Famer, where he scored 2,743 points. Last week, he finally broke the ice in Cedar Falls, Iowa, winning his first game against Ben Jacobson on the road. He is 0-5 so far at Redbird Arena, heading into this tonight's matchup against one of the all-time great players here at Illinois State, Dan Muller. And what a 5-year plus season he has run as a head coach here in Normal, Illinois. There you see 86-62, the record. And again, 5th season as a head coach of the Redbirds. It is very, very cold outside, but we're going to heat things up. These two teams undefeated in Valley play, as Kat mentioned, tied with Wichita State atop the standings as we head into week 2 of Valley play here from Central Illinois. Gary Maxwell, Rich Hartzell, and James Durham are our officials for tonight's game. 69th matchup between the Birds and the Bears, and we're underway from Redbird Arena. Harris Lee crossing that 1,000-point plateau in the victory against Loyola on Saturday. And there's Deontay Hawkins getting our first 2 of the night.
Well, we were here last year. When he gets going early, hits a couple shots, boy, does he play with a bounce in his step.
2 of the top point guards going mano-a-mano here tonight. Not only Paris Lee, but here's Daquan Miller, who averaged 19.5 in the 2 matchups against Illinois State last year. Krecklow for 3.
Really nice job swinging the ball. You went side to side, and his feet were set. When you watch that shot again, his feet are set, ready to take the shot as soon as it hits his hands.
We saw Missouri State last week light it up in the first half against Northern Iowa at the McLeod Center. They had a lead as much as 24 points and barely squeaked out that victory in Cedar Falls last Wednesday. Shot clock at 3. Wills, too strong. Johnson pulls down the rebound for the Bears. Again, Ryan Krecklow getting the start in place of Ronnie Russo. He is out with an ankle injury. Nice move by Johnson.
A really nice head and shoulder fake, up and under, really under control, and got it up on the window.
McIntosh, preseason all-conference pick in the Valley, steps back, a little strong. Johnson brings it up. Was a point guard during his high school days, and then he just mushroomed into this 6'9" force. Outside shot taken by Rhodes, a little bit off the mark.
He woke up one day and he's like, whoa, I'm a little taller than I was.
Mama, I need some new pants and some new shoes.
Yes.
McIntosh for 3.
See, I like him so much better when he squares his shoulders up, shoulders over his toes, and gets his elbow in and makes his jump shot, as opposed to the first shot he took where he's on the dribble and he's falling back. When he gets into his shot, he's pretty tough.
Nice pass by Krecklow. Church's shot is blocked by Fain.
What a block. Nice job to hold his ground and not foul and come up with the shot block.
McIntosh this time inside, gets his own rebound, and gets the stick back.
Love his motor. Love his motor, the way he plays. Big shoulders. He can get you inside, and we saw he can make the triple.
Here's Church from the outside. Obadiah a little strong. Hawkins pulls down the rebound. Here come the Birds, up by 2 early. They have won 13 straight games here at Redbird Arena. Haven't accomplished that feat in nearly 10 years. Miller on Lee. Johnson from the outside. And it'll drop.
Wow, rattle it around and get it to go. He's got a line drive shot. You watch Krecklow shoot and it's, you watch this, it's a line driver, and he got that one friendly rim.
Hawkins steps in. And a nice follow through by Phil Fain.
Gotta clean up the glass. You cannot allow that if you're Missouri State. Just a poor job of finding the shooter. Shot goes up and boxing everybody off.
Krecklow Johnson. 5 on the shot clock. Miller for 3. Too strong, and a nice rebound by Hawkins. That Illinois State defense has been their bread and butter for their success here of late. Paris Lee for 3.
Great job making the jump shot, but you know what I love? Love the defense. Illinois State has brought a lunch pail mentality to this game. They get up and guard, and at Paris Lee, nothing but the bottom of the net.
The week from Normal, Illinois, the home team up early here in Redbird Arena. Folks, closed captioning for tonight's telecast is made possible by the DoubleTree by Hilton Bloomington, the preferred hotel in the Missouri Valley Conference in the Illinois Twin Cities. Call 309-664-6446 or visit DoubleTree.com to book your hotel rooms on your next trip to Bloomington Normal. Cap, before the break, you mentioned boxing out, especially defensively, getting those second chance points for Illinois State. Missouri State, I don't know if you saw this or not, in their victory against Indiana State on Saturday, made a JQH Arena record, 52 boards against the Sycamores on Saturday.
And the Sycamores are a good team, really well coached by Greg Lansing. 52 boards is a lot of work down low.
Johnson down low, too strong. There's Paris Lee.
But some of their shots today here early, I mean, he missed that badly. I want Krecklow taking some shots.
The senior from Maywood, Illinois, has connected on his first 2-3 attempts. There's Krecklow.
Well, one end you get them to miss badly, come right down, and Paris Lee is ready. See his hand up? He's calling for the ball. Get me the basketball. As soon as it hits his hand, he's ready to shoot it. This kid has been a magnificent recruit for this program.
Austin Reuter has checked in for Missouri State, and DJ Clayton has checked in for the Redbirds.
And that was part of our keys we talked about. Inside out. Illinois State can kill you inside, but if you sneak back and try and take away the inside, and you get a guy like Paris Lee, Mikal McIntosh to make shots, boy, it opens everything else up.
Nice move at the block by Jordan Martin, the senior from St. Louis.
Really like that offensive possession. They got a good shot. They got the basket. Paul Lust's club really needed that. Just settle them down and get yourself back within 5.
Last 6 points for the Redbirds have come off the fingertips of this man, Paris Lee. That time off the mark. Johnson pulls down another rebound for Mo State.
Paul Lust's a really good coach. Really good. Boy, could that guy play. I saw him play in high school. Man, could he score.
Second team All Missouri Valley Conference, his senior season when he played for Coach Herron down at SIU Carbondale back in the early 90s. Shot clock at 5. Johnson tries another 3. Tries to follow his shot. And Rhodes.
They're going to get Paris Lee. Missouri State does a really nice job here. Get a good seal on the low post, and then he uses his body and his footwork to get a really good look. And Martin knocks it down off the window, and they needed that basket. You look up, and you're down 7 already, and you're thinking, boy, they hit another 3 on us. We're double digits down early.
Don't want to do that at home or on the road. You're down double digits.
No, not against a team like Illinois State.
Jared Dixon. Reuter. Can't drop the 3. Hawkins scrambling for it for Illinois State. This is DJ Clayton. Hawkins.
Ran it up. They are in a comfort zone right now. They got a bounce in their step at the defensive end. Watch how they get into their offensive man they're guarding. They are ready. They got their feet ready to move. They are doing a real good job contesting everything, verbally passing guys along.
4 for 6 from beyond the arc, and we're just 8 minutes into this one. Miller tries to answer. And they're not falling for Missouri State early on the road. David will go to the free throw line. 11:59 remaining in our opening half of our Valley Game of the Week from Normal, Illinois. Redbirds with a hot start. They have the 8-point lead. From beyond the arc and have the 8-point lead in the opening half of our Valley Game of the Week. And Cap, let's take a look at our Missouri Valley Conference standings, a presentation of Farina Dog Chow, always crafted in the USA since 1926.
Yeah, you see the Wichita State Shockers up top there, 2-0, 12-3. They are an elite basketball team. Greg Marshall just keeps cranking out teams that play with such intensity. There's Missouri State and Illinois State. Somebody is going to be tied with Wichita State when the evening ends because WSU a big lead over Drake tonight in the ball game in Wichita. There's some other talented team there. The Loyola Ramblers at 1 and 2.
Yes.
That's a talented basketball team. They got a challenge on their hands tonight. They did with Northern Iowa.
Yeah, losing to Illinois State. In fact, heading into that game on Saturday, Loyola was the 4th best shooting team in the nation, shooting at a clip of just over 51%. And Dan Muller's squad coming away with the road win last Sunday. Locked them down to just 41% from the field.
I was talking with former Bears star Tom Waddle today.
Yep.
He's actually watching the game at home, and he is rooting for Missouri State because they're the Bears.
That's how.
He said, I'll take the Bears. So he's rooting for the Bears. He said, Cavs, Bulls? Nah, I'll go with the Bears.
Actually, a doubleheader of Valley basketball on Comcast up in Chicago. Saw that Loyola game. And now we've got Illinois State and Missouri State. 2 undefeated teams in the Valley. Right now, MSU won for their last 6 from the field.
Yeah, we give a lot of love to Valley Hoops today because Tommy's partner, Mark Silverman, is a Southern Illinois grad. This is such a good league.
You mentioned Wichita State, and obviously the loss of Baker and Van Vliet. Some people thought it might be down in Wichita under Greg Marshall. Not the case. He may have one of his deepest teams ever. In fact, they're one of the top teams in the country in bench scoring.
Well, when you practice against Van Vliet and Baker and you have the level of expectation that comes with playing in one of the country's best programs, when you get your chance, you usually capitalize.
Ryan Kreklow with a nice move inside for the Bears.
Remember Devon Akun-Purcell, who we watched here last year, such a phenomenal player for Illinois State, and I heard he signed, I believe, in Belgium. He's playing European basketball now, making some money, and he was such an exciting player to watch.
That is Illinois State's first turnover, and Dixon can't finish, but Reuter gets the rebound. Boy, quick hands there by Evans. Wow. Great defense there by Illinois State, and that has been a great trend for this squad, as we mentioned earlier. Look at what they've done over the last 5 games, Cap.
Yeah, we see tonight you've got a team in Missouri State who's a good shooting team, shooting just 33%, and that's all a credit to that stat right there. What Illinois State does defensively, they get down and they get up in passing lanes, and they make it real hard for you to execute your offense.
Boy, strong move by McIntosh there.
I said it to you last year. One of my favorite players to watch in this league is Mikal McIntosh. Built like a linebacker. He can play inside or he can score from the outside. We've already seen it tonight. He's got another year left, just a junior.
Scary, isn't it? Johnson travels.
This is a strong kid. Puts it on the deck. And now he sees the defender coming, takes the hit, could have been an and one, still finds a way to score it. He lost a little weight since last season.
Folks, Metro Transit is offering an all-inclusive 5-day fan pass for just $23.50. The fan pass is valid for unlimited riding March 1st through the 5th on Metrolink, Metrobus, and the St. Louis Downtown Trolley during Arch Madness 2017. Purchase your fan pass at metrostore.org. Lee, coast to coast, and it's blocked by Krecklow.
Nice job by Krecklow there.
Johnson on the dish. Church with the finish.
Does a real nice job, Church. He takes the feed inside from Johnson, and then he gives the head and shoulder fake, and then he waits. He doesn't rush it, lets the defender fly by, and then it's just rock the rim.
Really think about it, a small lineup right now out there for Dan Muller. And again, one and done. Johnson pulls down another rebound. And McIntosh will be whistled.
That's his second, because he just got the offensive foul a few moments ago at the top of the key on the screen. There's the block by Krecklow. Then there's the second block of the ball loose in the air. And then Paris Lee trying to knock it off of a Bears player. Can't do it. And then real nice job. Just watch the defender go by and then go up and finish and do what you're supposed to do. Rip the rim down.
Road shot a little strong, and nice battle on the boards taken away by the Redbirds. Keyshawn Evans. Wills will take it to the rack.
Good
so
penetration.
Will head to the free throw line, Cap.
I think Wills may have tweaked his ankle a bit.
Well, Tony wound up starting the season late. He came up with a sports hernia injury in September and missed the entire month of October. In fact, missed the exhibition game before he's up and going for the Redbirds this year in his senior season from Indianapolis, Indiana.
He is in low-cut shoes, which most guys will not wear. A few will, but when I coached, we would not allow our players in low-top shoes. Too many ankle injuries. And if you did, you had to tape your ankles. Must. But today's kids, they like the lower top shoe.
Madison Williams will check in for Tony. He's a freshman from Augusta, Georgia. Miller with 11 on the shot. Johnson against Fain. Quick first step. Nice.
Oh, shot. I thought Fain did a pretty good job trying to hold his ground, even got a piece of the ball, and you just watch Johnson just power it to the backboard.
Well, that's what you were talking about in the open. Here's a guy in Johnson. He can do it on the inside, and he can do it from the outside as well. Here's Evans for three. And Johnson snares another rebound. Boy, he's been cleaning up some glass here. Rhodes hits the triple. Jared Rhodes, one of those three JUCO transfers that has been great additions to Paul Luff's squad in Springfield. Johnson, we mentioned Rhodes, and of course Ronnie Russo, who's unavailable tonight because of an ankle injury.
Missouri State has settled down, got a couple of buckets, really has settled their game down here.
Hawkins on Church.
Winning on the road, unless you've got, the Wichita States over the last few years, you have to take the first punch. Take the punch and then stand up and fight. And that's exactly what the Missouri State Bears have done. They're right back in it.
Officials, timeout.
Redbirds and Bears doing battle in Normal, Illinois in our Valley Game of the Week. And folks, we want to remind you the Grand Hall at Union Station in downtown St. Louis comes to life with a spectacular indoor light show every night. When making plans to attend Arch Madness, visit grandhall-stl.com for details. Dave Kaplan, Jeff Graham, and our entire Now's Media Group crew. Scott Warman with you. Great to have you alongside in our Valley Game of the Week here in Central Illinois. Right now, Cap, MSU on a 7-2 run over the last 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And as you mentioned, looks like Paul Lusk's squad kind of settling down against Dan Muller's terrific defense.
Yeah, Dan Muller's club got Paris Lee, and they got Hawkins to knock down a couple of deep threes. McIntosh had one. And the Bears of Missouri State were able to take that initial punch and come out fighting. Sometimes you take the initial punch on the road, you never recover. They've done a really good job, and now they force a turnover here. Boom, ball's going the other way, and that's the second turnover in, I think, 3 possessions for Paris Lee, which is uncharacteristic. He got trapped in the corner, threw it away, and here he dribbled one out of bounds.
By the way, forced that last time out was a foul called on Alize Johnson. That is number 2 on Johnson, as now he is on the Missouri State bench. He already has 6 rebounds in tonight's contest.
Yeah, I like that call, though, by Paul Lusk. You want your best guy on the court. With 2 fouls, you're in a 4-point game. Let's just see how things develop here if you're Paul Lusk. You do not want number 3 in the first half. Some coaches will roll the dice. I was not one of them.
Rhodes. And Deontay Hawkins will pull down the miss. So we'll see if the Bears can hold on here. Trailing by 4. There you see the last field goal by Illinois State, with their top player in Johnson sitting on the bench again with those 2 fouls. Here's Wills. Strong, and Rhodes will pick up the rebound for the Bears. Kendricks. Little Strong. And that is a travel back the other way. Boy, Tris Kendricks really turned things on for Missouri State late last year, and he just hasn't been able to really get his rhythm so far this season. He would be huge if he could kind of find that stroke he had last year in his sophomore season.
Or give him another shooting option. They are trying to get Rhodes free to get a jump shot.
Here's Dixon. Kendricks will try another 3.
See a lot of standing around offensively. I'll dribble, I'll pass it to you, you dribble. Not a lot of movement.
Both teams in the last minute or so gone ice cold from the offense. Miller drains the 3 to stop that bleeding.
And it's a 1-point game. That's a big basket.
Right now a 10-2 run for the Bears. Fain, no. 6 minutes since the last field goal for Illinois State. They have gone ice cold. Kendricks follows, can't. Rebound, Martin gets the bucket and the foul.
What great effort out of Missouri State on the glass. They are working hard. They're getting inside position, and that's finishing in traffic. There's the miss. Watch the effort. Miss. Get out of my way.
Run over the last 5 minutes, and they have their first lead since early in this one, 24-23. Folks, register to win a St. Louis Arch Madness VIP package, including all session tickets for the State Farm NBC Men's Basketball Tournament, hotel accommodations, and tickets to St. Louis area attractions. Log on to ExploreSt.Louis.com for complete details.
So you know all about Jake from State Farm. Great ad campaign.
Absolutely.
You see it right there on the bottom of the basket support. Did you know that Jake from State Farm, which makes me laugh every time I watch the ads, his dad, Bruce, Stone
Jordan Martin shoots
was an
one shot.
assistant basketball coach at Illinois State when I was coaching at Northern Illinois. Somebody came up to me and said, "Do you remember an assistant named Bruce Stone?" I said, "Yeah, he was here back in the 80s. Well, his son is Jake from State Farm.
So it is actually Jake.
Yes, his real name is Jake Stone. His dad is Bruce. They both worked for the company. He came up with this ad campaign. It's Jake from
Brilliant.
State Farm.
Clayton. DJ
Where?
Clayton.
Missouri State
Speaking of State Farm, stay tuned for our halftime report, a presentation of State Farm. They assist you when things go wrong, but also here to help life go right. Team up with an agent today at 800 State Farm. Cap will talk to both head coaches. We'll have a feature on Jared Dixon, and we'll get a little numbers and highlights from this opening 20 minutes of play from Normal, Illinois. Cap, the last field goal for Illinois State was by Mikal McIntosh at the 9:58 mark of this opening half of play.
They're going 7 minutes without a bucket here in a second.
Keyshawn Evans, the sophomore from Fort Lauderdale, will pick up the foul.
Fans don't like that call. It's all about freedom of movement. That's exactly what it is. The rules of this game changed a couple seasons back, and I think the coaches have now adjusted, the players have adjusted, and they like it. It's no more running through the lane and getting bam like you're playing the St. Louis Blues and the Blackhawks.
16 foul for Illinois State, 5 on the Bears. Under 3 minutes remaining in our opening half. Reuter. Reuter doesn't pass up this time. 6 all-time and threes made in Missouri State history. Makes it triple there. It's a 3-point lead for the Bears on the road at 27-24. Clayton with a nice spin move inside, partially blocked by Obadiah Church. Rhodes thought about the three there. Nice steal by Clayton.
Rhodes had the shot. I just don't think he felt it.
We talked about Illinois State's defense and how well they have played under Dan Muller, especially over the last 5 games. His team's shooting just over 31% from the field against ISU. But how about Missouri State's defense here late? I mean, Illinois State can't buy a bucket, Cap.
Can't, but they've had some good looks. Defense has been good, but there have been some pretty good looks, and Illinois State cannot get the bucket to drop. But they haven't had a basket in 8 minutes plus.
Harris Lee checking back in as you see David Njai taking a seat back in the ISU bench. Tony Wills will come in for Mikal. Daquan finds a wide open Kendricks. And a foul, and Chris Kendricks from Willard, Missouri will go to the line to shoot 3 free throws here with $1:32 remaining.
Well, you have to close out on a shooter under control. He's spotted up, he's ready. That can't happen. That cannot happen. You come out under control, you contest the shot, you can't crash into him.
Also remember this, Dave Kaplan, this run here towards the end of the first half where the Bears have regained a lead has been without their best player for the better part of it, Alize Johnson.
Absolutely right. With 2 fouls, Paul Luss said, I'm going to sit him down, which I thought was the right call. Some coaches will roll the dice. especially when you get off to a rough start here early. They're down 18-10 thinking, oh boy, we're in some trouble. And you blink with your best guy sitting there. You don't have to worry about his third foul, and you've got yourself a lead.
Largest one of the night right now for the Bears at 30-26. Evans inside the arc, and he finally breaks the ice there. But again,
almost 9 minutes without a basket.
Kendricks tries a triple. And last touch by Illinois State, Bears basketball. And the Redbird fans do not like the call. Reuter for three. And he forced that one up. Fain pulls down the rebound, and now Krekla will pick up the foul.
Foul number 20, Ryan Krekla, his second, team foul 7.
Folks, when the MVC TV network crew takes to the road, it considers these properties home. These hotels consistently support the conference and its 10 member institutions. Please call or visit the websites of these properties when making plans to follow your favorite team away from home. So Phil Fain back the other way, shooting some free throws here with under a minute remaining. Redbirds down 30-28. Both these teams undefeated in Valley play through the first week at 2-0. And it looks like we might have a lane violation, and Fain will get a chance to redeem himself. Nope, we got a foul. I'm sorry. And the Redbirds in the penalty situation. So ISU catches a break.
Well, when you're not making baskets, you got to take care of your free throws.
Will's 70% from the free throw line this season. By the way, that Keyshawn Evans field goal broke an 8-minute, 43-second drought without a field goal for ISU in this opening half of play. We're tied at 30, under a minute remaining in the opening half. Reuter hits the three.
What tough shot. He's a big, strong kid, but he was able to take a little bit of a bump and still knock the triple down.
And Dan wants to burn his first half timeout with 30.7 seconds remaining and 24 left on the shot clock.
You watch Reuter's three. You see a little bit of contact when that shot is released, but you can get away with a little. We saw you crash into him. You're not going to. That's a big-time shot, a huge shot in the arm, because you know you're walking into the locker room and you're right in a ball game here in a tough place to win against a really quality opponent.
Absolutely, Cap. And for Reuter, boy, frustration last year as he suffered that injury early in the season and missed the better part of the 2015-16 campaign. And there was questions when he could actually come back and get up and running. I know Paul Lusk talked to him before the season started and was a little unsure of what Reuter would be at the beginning of the season, but he was up and going. And that's a huge part of the dynamic of the success of Paul Lusk's team this year, to have that deep bench like he has, and especially when you consider a guy like Ronnie Russo unavailable tonight because of the ankle injury, he still can run 10 deep on your squad. We might have a little confusion as far as the clock is concerned. 6 guys on the floor for Illinois State, hence the whistle and a technical foul on the Redbirds.
Yeah, that cannot happen. That will drive Dan Muller crazy. Tomorrow when he watches this film with his guys, he will make sure guys are mentally locked in. We saw them start the game, Scotty, where they were really locked in defensively, but you cannot have this type of a mistake where you have too many guys on the court.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we got 6 white jerseys on the floor. As you see the guy inbounding, and just to his right, and then 4 down low. Ever seen that before, Cap?
A couple of times.
Have you really?
It should not happen.
No.
That-
I think Dan might have to get the aspirin out on that one.
Oh, man. He's going to keep running it back. What are you thinking?
Lee with 6 on the shot clock and game clock, and Deontay Hawkins is fouled. He'll head to the line with 4.1 seconds remaining in our opening 20 minutes.
Yeah, Rhodes got him, pushed him in the back.
Fouls on number 10, Jared Rhodes.
Left his feet and got right on top of him.
Miss or make, Missouri State still has an outside chance
Deontay Hawkins
at a shot before the end of the half here, Cap.
They do. Catch it and push it, and you get a lot more time than you realize. 4.1 is an eternity to get the ball up the court, so you don't have to pull up from 30 feet. You can push the ball, take that extra dribble, and then get a shot off.
the Redbirds. Deontay Hawkins
And I would think the ball will end up either
at the line.
in Reuter's hands. That's probably where you'll end up seeing it go, or they'll throw it inside and just have Miller take it all the way.
Kendricks lost the handle, and that will do it. So the visitors, the Missouri State Bears, head to the locker room after 20 minutes of play here at Redbird Arena as they come back and have the 2-point lead at 34-32. All right, time now for a chat with the coaches this season, and head coach Dan Mueller of Illinois State. It's brought to you by Casey's General Store. Casey's plans for the second half with Dave Kaplan. Cap?
Dan, you guys got off to a great start, and then you went 8:43 without a basket. What was the problem? Was it just missing shots?
Just didn't get aggressive. They were killing us on the boards. We lost focus on the offensive end, stopped executing defensively. We just stopped competing.
What do you tell your guys? Do you challenge them? What do you tell them?
We've been pretty good for a long time. They know what they did wrong. We'll be right in the second half.
Best of luck.
All right, Dan and Cap, thanks so much. Our chat with the coaches this season is brought to you by Casey's General Store. Casey's, famous for pizza. Well, Dan Mueller and the Illinois State Redbirds have built a lead of 9, and right now at the break, they trail Missouri State 34-32. It's a battle of the unbeatens in the Valley. Halftime report brought to you by State Farm. Next. It is brought to you by Aetna. Aetna invests in game-changing programs that make being healthy simpler and more convenient than ever. Get to know us at Aetna.com. By Purina Dog Chow, always crafted in the USA since 1926. By State Farm. Team up with an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM. And by Casey's General Store. Casey's, famous for pizza. We continue with our halftime report, a presentation at State Farm, helping you rebound when things go wrong, but also here to help life go right. Team up with an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM. All right, time now to check in with head coach Paul Lusk of Missouri State for his plans, Casey's General Store plans, for the second half with Dave Kaplan. Cap?
Paul, you guys got off to a slower start, looked up 18-10, took the first punch, and then, boy, you played great the rest of the way. Why?
Oh, we were a little bit tentative, and you know, Cap, we gave up 4 threes right away, and it really wasn't anything we were doing.
Missouri State 34, Illinois State 32. Here's the halftime team statistics brought to you by SEL Professional Services. Field goal shooting from Missouri State, 12 of 31.
All right, little technical difficulties there, Paul and Cap. Thanks so much. Our chat with the coaches this season is brought to you by Casey's General Store. Casey's, famous for pizza. Missed a little bit there. What did Paul have to say to you, Cap?
He talked about, he said we were tentative at the start, and that's why they got out, Illinois State that is, to an 18-10 lead. He said, and then we settled down. He goes, they made 4 threes early. We settled down, took pretty good care of the basketball, but he really liked their effort on the glass. They've got to continue to do that because they were down 3 or 4 rebounds in the rebounding margin, and now you look at the rebounding margin, and they actually have the lead, 19-17. So they've out-rebounded them down by 5 down the stretch.
Missouri State has led in 13 of their 15 games this season. 11 of those 13 games, they've come away with a victory. Of course, 11-4 this season. And Aetna proudly presents the second half of Missouri Valley Conference Game of the Week. Aetna invests in game-changing programs that make being healthy simpler, more convenient than ever. Get to know us at Aetna.com. Dave Kaplan, Scott Warman with your Valley Game of the Week from Normal, Illinois, as we get set for the second 20 minutes of play. The winner will be tied with Wichita State atop the standings after the final buzzer of tonight's contest. Kreklo from downtown Normal.
Now, he was a kid who hit his first shot starting the ball game, and we didn't see much of him down the stretch, but they had a couple of other guys step up. Now they've got all their horses cooking, and they've settled down. This is a really interesting time for Illinois State, and that's a big three-point opportunity.
So the Birds start out with McIntosh actually posting at the block. All right, folks, the MVC Fan Hangout is the perfect gathering place before and after games during Arch Madness. It's located at Ballpark Village in downtown St. Louis, just across the street from Busch Stadium. For additional information, visit archmadness.com/fans. Hendricks with the start in the second half for Paul Luff's squad.
Wow.
2 for 2 from beyond the arc as that was drained by Jared Rhodes.
Well, he was ready to shoot it, coming off the curl move. Catch, shoot, go.
Hawkins now down low. Bucket and a foul.
Another entry pass inside and get 2 interior baskets. We talked, what was the key early in the game? Go inside, out. Here you're going inside. Johnson's still sitting there with 2 fouls. Why take a chance? You've got the lead. You're playing well. You're making shots. Go inside, and then you can go in and out and get a really good look at a perimeter shot with some good shooters for the Redbirds.
2 teams scoring threes to open up this second half of play. The conventional threes, by the way, for Illinois State. Rhodes, can he do it again? Holy cow!
Dan Muller just looked back at his bench and went, really? See that? Wow.
Well, we mentioned in the first half these junior college transfers have really been great additions to the Bears squad this year. Rhodes, along with Johnson and Rousseau. McIntosh on the offensive foul. That's number 3 on number 11.
The 2 of the fouls you really wish you could have back if you're McIntosh. The illegal screen in the first half at the top of the key, and then this one here. You gotta come in under control.
It is interesting. Again, Missouri State making their run with Johnson on the bench, and he starts out the second half with 2 fouls on the bench. Miller on Wills. Kreklo.
Gonna get a hold.
Yep.
I think it's Rhodes.
What a start for the Bears here in the second half.
Well, that's just a tough shot, Kreklo. Then there's Rhodes. Open look, bury it. Another one where the defender doesn't come out and contest it aggressively enough. He gets a pretty clean look, and he buries it.
All right, so DJ Clayton has to check in with McIntosh sitting on Dan Muller's bench with 3 fouls in the opening minutes of this second half of play. Nice dump down inside, and the finish by Payne.
Another interior basket. Obviously a point of emphasis in the Illinois State locker room at the half. Guys, we've got a size and athleticism advantage inside. Will we please try and take advantage of it?
Hendricks. Rebound, Wills. And a blocking foul on Reuter, and they're going to give him the bucket.
This is the third three-point opportunity here, and we're not 4 minutes into the half. Great high-low entry. Get it done inside. That has been a big point of emphasis and a big difference here for Illinois State in their offensive attack.
Number 11, Jared Mitchell. Missouri State. He replaces Bruder.
One shot.
Fourth tie in tonight's game at the 16:49 mark of the second
Here comes
half.
pressure, too. Got to handle pressure. Point of emphasis at the Missouri State shoot-around was point of emphasis was handling pressure and then attacking the goal to score, and that's exactly what they did.
Wills.
Here comes pressure again.
Recklow. He is not shy.
Too quick. Too quick a shot.
Wills again from Hawkins.
See, that's so much more in flow. Instead of, I caught it, I gotta go. Got an open look. He set his feet and he buried it. That is the type of shot Paul Lusk is looking for.
Hawkins tries to answer.
We are seeing a good old-fashioned shootout.
Like ISU going to a little bit of a zone here, Cap.
Just a different look. Try and do something differently.
Dixon can't complete the little give and go. Timeout on the floor. Heavyweight matchup between two top teams in the Valley. Obadiah Church with the finish. Recklow with the three. Hawkins with the answer. We're tied at 48. In the opening minutes of the second half of our Valley Game of the Week, ISU at 2-0, MSU at 2-0, tied at 48. All right, let's take a look at tonight's NBC full slate of games, a presentation of Grinnell Mutual Insurance, where we provide a policy of working together. Northern Iowa is now 0-3 for the first time since 2000-2001 as they fall in Chicago to Loyola by a score of 77-66. Brian Wardle picks up another victory on the road tonight in Evansville, and the Salukis, with 7 seconds remaining in overtime, have the 6-point lead over Indiana State. And as Cap mentioned, big win for the Sharks tonight.
Yeah, 5 players in double figures, but you looked at that one and you said that's going to be a tough night for Drake. To go to the Wichita State Arena and try and win, not easy.
Not easy to win in the Roundhouse. There's no doubt about it. McIntosh back in with 3 fouls at the block. And he's got to be careful and not pick up number 4. Last touch by McCall. MSU basketball. The Bears 4 for 7 from beyond the arc to open things up in the 5+ minutes of this second half of play. Are you surprised that McIntosh is out there with 3 fouls, Cap?
I am not, because he's not a real aggressive, put it on the deck and charge. He got one of those tonight. Got to let him try and play through a little bit of the funk he's in right now.
Evans on the drive, high off the glass, gets the bucket, and he'll try another conventional 3.
I think that's the 4th conventional 3-point play opportunity here in the second half. Here's the steal. Now take it up like a running back. Pick your spot. Boom. Goes up, off the window, and gets the opportunity.
I'm not the sharpest knife of the bunch, but I think I can actually figure out what Dan Muller told his team at the break.
Yeah. Hey, guys, get the ball inside, please. We also have a bit of a timing issue, so they're using the clocks on the basket support, not on the ribbon scoreboard around the arena. So the players had to be informed, make sure you guys don't go off that clock, go off the other clock.
Johnson on McIntosh. Dixon.
Runner, nice shot. Took the ball side to side. Defense didn't get there in time, and he had a nice path to the basket and was able to score the ball off the backboard.
Lee on the kick out. Injai, too strong.
Injai was a little late coming up to set the screen as well, then came back to the basket. Never really got himself gathered to get a good shot opportunity.
Ruder, just off the mark on that 3 attempt. Martin and Injai doing battle for that rebound, and it looks like Jordan Martin, the senior from St. Louis, will pick up the foul.
Jordan Martin, that's his first and his team foul.
As Deontay Hawkins checks back in for Dan Muller's squad. Redbirds have won their last 13 straight here at Redbird Arena. Again, McIntosh out there with 3 fouls. Evans. Injai, and that's last touched by Illinois State Bears basketball.
They're going to say that went up. Injai, I'm not sure it did.
I'm not either. Watch Ruder's hand here.
No, he may have got him in the right knee.
Yep, yep. Stolen by Fain, right back to Ruder. Now Martin inside, it'll go to the line as Phil Fain will pick up the foul.
I was about to say, credit the steal because Paris Lee got his hand on it, and then they stole it right back, and it leads to an opportunity at the line.
Metro Transit is offering all-inclusive 5-day fan pass for just $23.50. The fan pass is valid from unlimited riding March 1st through the 5th at MetroLink, Metrobus, and St. Louis Downtown Trolley during Arch Madness 2017. Purchase your fan pass at metrostore.org. See Austin Ruder checks out. Chris Kendricks in for Parlosk's team. 7th tie at 51. And Payne with the finish.
Well, beautiful pass, beautiful finish, but Martin's got to take the hit there. You got to stop the ball and take the charge in that opportunity. Wow, McIntosh.
Foul on McIntosh. Redbirds lead it by 2 thanks to Phil Fain. Lead for ISU right now with 11:43 in the second half. Time now for tonight's Eagle Bank NBC Scholar Athlete of the Game. It is Illinois State soccer player Megan Koslow, the sophomore defender from Geneva, Illinois, has a 4.0 cum GPA in accounting and earned 2016 honorable mention MVC Scholar Athlete honors. The official bank of the Missouri Valley Conference, Eagle Bank, where a student's financial future begins. All right, so we get set after this under 12 timeout, and the big story right now, Mikal McIntosh on ISU's bench with 4 fouls, Cap.
Yeah, that was a tough call. I saw him get aggressive for the rebound, but I thought they would call the foul on Missouri State. They got McIntosh, and now he's anchored to the bench, but he has not had a great night. Zone defense again out of Illinois State.
Dixon
Whoa, bangs another three. They've got some shooters here. Dixon makes shots for him. Preklo makes shots for him. They've got some guys who can make shots. Of course, Austin Reuter as well as a couple triples tonight.
That is their 11th three they've made here on the road. Good read by Dixon on the steal. Dixon's going to go coast to coast, followed by Kendricks. Nice hustle. Redbirds fans won a double dribble on Daquan Miller.
I think he did.
Shot clock under 10. Dixon gets the pick, and he traveled. I remember, Cap, it was a 9-point lead at one point for Illinois State in the first half. The Bears made their run, and that was without their best player, Alize Johnson, for the better part of that run to take the lead at the break. Now no Mikhail McIntosh for who knows how long in the second half. We'll see if the Redbirds can duplicate what the Bears did in the first half without their best player.
Now, it's a little different here because Johnson was playing really well. I don't feel like McIntosh has had a great game. Banging the glass inside, and Hawkins gets the stick back. So let McIntosh sit. You can always bring him back if things get out of control for you. But they've got the lead now. I think this might be actually an advantage for Illinois State, but McIntosh was not having his best game.
Johnson. Fain with the outlet to Wills. Hawkins. Wow, that's his second three that he has drilled for the Redbirds tonight.
Well, the first one he hit was all the way over by Paul Lusk in the first half. I mean, a bomb. This was no cheapie either.
Redbird fans into it now with a 4-point lead.
Like the zone has changed the game here a bit.
Daquan can't answer.
Got to be a foul going the other way.
Missouri State fouls on 0 Jordan Martin, his second, team foul 7.
There's Hawkins with the three, his second. By the way, Illinois State 6 of 11 from beyond the arc. Missouri State is 11 of 26. So we've had 17 makes beyond the three-point arc tonight.
I love the three-point shot. Love it.
It has definitely changed the game.
Do you think Pete Maravich would average if the pistol was still playing? Crazy numbers.
I think some of the great shooters back in like the 70s.
How about Bird?
Bird, Paxson, John Paxson, Kyle Macy.
Mark Aguirre.
Yes, from DePaul.
How about Doug Collins right here in Illinois State?
I was just thinking the same thing.
Doug Collins court.
Oh, Obadiah Church was wide open and made, I think, one too many passes there, Cap.
Yep, overpassed.
$13 left on the shot clock. Nice job by Illinois State getting the turnover.
Well, they had a safety valve deep open, and they just didn't throw the ball to him.
He's quick on that crossover, isn't he?
He is. Just don't like when they don't step into the shot. That's Paris Lee's really good shooter when he gets into his shot.
Johnson inside on Njai. What a battle down low. And somehow Paris winds up with the ball on his lap. Clayton lost the handle.
Too much French pastry. Don't be dribbling in the lane like that where hands can get at it.
Brecklow's buried a couple of threes already in this second half. Bears very dangerous from the outside. Here's Rhodes. And a rebound taken by Clayton.
Got a pretty good look.
Yep.
Took the ball side to side, made the pass to the short corner, got the look. Not a bad shot.
ISU's largest lead was at 9 in the first half against the Bears. Clayton for 3. In and out. Obadiah Church pulls down the miss. Krecklow. Too strong off of Johnson. ISU basketball when we come back. 6:44 remaining in the second half. Redbirds up by 4. 17 St. Louis Cardinals season, it's just around the corner. And join them in getting the 10 and 5 game packs and all-inclusive tickets because they're on sale right now. Get yours today at Cardinals.com, just like my partner, the Catman.
Yeah, I need somewhere to wear all my World Series championship gear.
Well, you got your socks you showed me when you pulled
Cubs
in.
World Series socks on, my Cubs World Series jacket I wore today, and I said...
Did you get anything else other than World Series stuff for Christmas from the lovely wife?
Not really. I didn't. I got a paperweight of the trophy, and then I sent a text to John Rooney and to Mike Claiborne down at St. Louis. It had a picture of a champagne bottle with World Series champs on it and a picture of a beer bottle. It said St. Louis Cardinals Central Division participant 2016.
I know Rooney didn't like that.
He did not. He fired right back at me.
McIntosh in the game out of the under 8 timeout. Again, he's got 4 fouls. And lost the handle there, and Krecklow picks it up for the Bears.
Bears need to come down now and not just settle for the first open look. Move the ball and get an easier basket.
Again, the zone by ISU in the second half has kind of changed the dynamics.
The 2-3 has done a really nice job. They've been very aggressive in it.
Rhodes too strong on the 3 attempt. Here comes Evans. Wisely pulls it back out. Didn't have the numbers. Clayton on Krecklow. Shot clock at 5. Here's Clayton again. Lee as time expires, and it is a shot clock violation
That is a shot clock violation
on Illinois State.
I don't like the way the rule is. Shot clock, the ball looked like it was gone. You catch it and you can go the other way. Really allows the defense, who just had a shot clock violation, to go back and set their defense up now.
Yeah, a little bit of loss of momentum, so to speak, if they want to run with it. Alize Johnson on the bench right now. Remember, he picked up those 2 fouls in the first half. No points and only 2 boards in this second 20 minutes of play. Dixon, too strong, followed, no. And
got a foul over the top,
yeah,
I think, on Hawkins.
Yeah.
Foul on 23, Deontay Hawkins, his first foul. The team's 4th of the half.
MSU struggling right now, 1 for their last 11 from the field. Yeah, we told you last 5 games, the Redbirds just cranking it up defensively as opponents have shot just over 30% from the field in the last 5 against this ISU defense. Here's Rhodes. Nice.
Big basket. Needed that basket.
Redbird faithful here at Redbird Arena, trying to will their team to a couple of baskets and try to extend this home game winning streak to 14 straight. Battle in their hands against the Missouri State Bears. 2 teams on top of the Valley standings after week number 1.
We get Miller, I believe, whacking on the arm as Paris Lee made the dribble penetration move.
8th team foul on the Bears. Meanwhile, ISU with only 4 team fouls in this second half of play.
There's a look at Dan Muller. If you never saw Dan Muller as a player, you'd know he's a player because he's a big, tall, athletic guy. But I watched him when he was a young man playing. You talk about a defender. You know who he reminded me of as a player, some not quite as burly? Dan Dockich. Remember Dan Dockich?
Yes, absolutely.
Who was an outstanding player at Indiana. Now he's a broadcaster doing great work. But Danny was a physical defender, helped Michael Jordan lowest game of his career at North Carolina, his final game as a Tar Heel. Dan Muller was one of the best defensive forwards I watched.
Nice ball movement. Rhodes with a wide open look for the 3 and an offensive rebound. Haven't seen a whole lot of those from the Bears tonight.
Good job to settle it down and re-rack the offense.
Kreckler with the kick out. Kendricks
Huge.
with the finish.
Huge, humongous possession. You're dripping under 330 and you just reeled him right back in.
Wills can't answer. Bears could regain the lead on this possession as we near 3 minutes remaining from Redbird Arena. Dave Kaplan, Scott Warman with you in our Valley Game of the Week.
2-3 zone again out of Illinois State. It's been very effective for the bulk of this second half.
Rhodes again wide open.
What a ball movement possession for the Bears of Missouri State. That ball went inside, back out top, back to the other side, and you make the extra pass to the short corner, and you get an open look, and he buries it.
The Bears have buried 13 threes. They lead it by 2. It's the Bears and Redbirds 2-0 in conference play, and Missouri State trying to go to 3-0 for the first time since 2010-2011 to open up Valley play, lead it by 2. By the way, the Redbirds' last field goal was at 9:33. It was a 3 by Deontay Hawkins.
They've had these droughts with all this firepower. You wonder how that happens, and you got to tip your cap to the Missouri State's defensive attack.
There's McIntosh. He's got 4 fouls. Oh, wide
Great
open.
entry.
Nice look.
What a nice entry pass from the top to thread the needle and bounce it inside. We got a ball game on our hands. Tied up with 2:20.
Shot clock at 2-1. And a battle for it, and somehow Kendricks comes away with the offensive rebound and stolen by Paris Lee, but right back to Krecklow.
Then you got yourself a fresh shot clock, 24 seconds left to come in here and really run a good possession. That was not a great possession.
Bears have drained 13 triples tonight. Krecklow off, way off. Now Hawkins has scored 7 of ISU's last 9 points. Pay attention to number 23.
I thought Keyshawn Evans did a good job getting out on that shot.
McIntosh on the attack. And he'll go to the line. 65 seconds remaining at Redbird Arena, and we're tied. 105 1:05 remaining. Time now for tonight's State and MVC history. It's brought to you by the 2017 State Farm MVC Men's Basketball Tournament at Scott Trade Center in St. Louis. You go all the way back to 1975. The Redbirds received a game-high 51 from Rick Whitlow, who hit 19 of 31 as the Birds edged Southern Illinois 91-84 in overtime at the old Horton Fieldhouse. All Valley Roads converge in St. Louis on March 2nd through the 5th as Arch Madness returns for a 27th straight year. For more information, visit archmadness.com. All right, Mikal McIntosh to the line. 1:05 remaining.
He is from Pickerington, Ontario. That is such an untapped, but starting to see coaches really work the Canadian high school ranks. There's good players up there.
Folks, the MVC TV network takes its cameras on the road to Holman Center in Terre Haute, Indiana on Saturday, January 7th, as Indiana State will play host to the Redbirds. Our coverage will get underway at 1 Central. 10th lead change. We've had 8 ties, under a minute remaining. Who will be tied with Wichita State after tonight here in Central Illinois? Bears or Birds?
Overpassing again.
Shot clock at 6. McIntosh forces it up. Shot clock is off. Miller on the drive, blocked by McIntosh. Bears basketball with 10.8 remaining.
If we can run that possession back, we got a 2-point game with 10.8 seconds left. If you drive it hard to the baseline, if you throw it back out top, you got a shooter spotted up waiting for the basketball.
That is our game reset made possible by Perinda Dog Chow, always crafted in the USA since 1926. Missouri State calls the timeout. They now have 2 remaining, just like Illinois State. There you see the foul situation and the possession arrow favoring the Redbirds.
See, the defense is going to shift and go all the way down and follow the ball. You got to have that perceptiveness to look back out top. Here they come down on the fast break, and Paul Lusk is saying, take the ball down. He's yelling it. Well, you got a shooter that you could have found the ball right at the top of the key, or you could have found Church. You had someone right on that right wing toward the top of the key. You could have got a pretty good look.
All right, so Paul Lusk will set this one up. Now, again, remember, Missouri State, 13 of 33 from beyond the arc tonight. In fact, in this half, 7 of 18 from three-point land. All right, let's take a look at our plays of the game, a presentation of Aetna. Aetna invests in game-changing programs that make being healthy simpler and more convenient than ever. Get to know us at Aetna.com.
So there's our players of the game, and Rhodes has been really good. Deontay Hawkins has been outstanding. I mean, look at those numbers. He gives you solid rebounding. He's perfect from the three-point stripe, 7 of 10, 70% from the field, and he has a presence that you have to guard at all times on the court.
Dixon, Miller, Rhodes, Reuter, and Kreklow. A very small lineup on the floor for Paul Lusk. All 5 of these gentlemen can drill it from downtown. And Paul's going to burn another timeout. He saw the defensive setup by Dan Muller. Now the chess match begins.
You got to be really intelligent defensively here. You cannot, when that ball comes inside, if you're going to foul, you better make sure that you don't give up a three-point opportunity. You might find yourself on the losing end of a 65-64 game. You've got to be intelligent. You've got to be locked in. Try and just get a piece of the basketball and see if you can cause a disruption here at the defensive end of the court.
You're only down by 2. You notice there was no Alize Johnson, no Martin, no Obadiah Church. It was all the guards who can shoot threes for all intents and purposes, that were out on that floor there. So you get a missed shot, your percentages, as far as I'm concerned, Missouri State are small to try to get a rebound, don't you think?
He's going with his very small lineup with Krecklow and Reuter and Rhodes. He's got shooter after shooter. Miller in the deep corner. He's got all shooters out there.
Interesting. 10.8 remaining. Bears down by 2. And they're going to have to burn another timeout. And last week, Cap, the Bears did have some difficulty on inbounds plays as Northern Iowa chipped away and made it an actual game last week. And here we're seeing that difficulty here in the final 10 seconds.
And he's got to make sure, and he will. Paul's a good coach. They're out of timeouts now. Got to remind your guys. I remember we were playing a game at Western Illinois, and we were up 1. They had the ball at the hash mark in the front court. 1 second left in the game. And our head coach said to our best player, listen to, he's 6'9", listen to me. I do not want you to do anything but guard the basket. Your guy is going to go to the top of the key. He's going to set a screen, and they're going to back pick, and they're going to lob over the top. It's the only thing they're going to be able to do. So listen to me. He's an academic All-American, the guy we're coaching. He's a wonderful kid. Do not follow your guy. And I'll never forget it. As he's coming out of the huddle, our head coach, the late John McDougal, said, Tim, what are you supposed to do? Guard the basket, coach. Boom, they hand the ball to the guy. There goes his guy to the top of the key. He follows him. They lob over the top, throw it, lay it in at the buzzer. J.D. Dykstra, we lose by 1. And our head coach said, what did I tell you? I forgot, coach.
I forgot.
And he was an academic All-American.
That's why I would never coach. I don't know how you did it, Cap.
It's like, you got to be kidding. And then, of course, the media writes, coach never told it. Yeah, right. Like 50 times.
Here we go. Rhodes tries it at 64.
Wow. Tough shot.
McIntosh.
He traveled.
2.1 seconds remaining.
Okay, let's watch the shot first. This is a tough shot over Hawkins, who's athletic, who's tall, has got his hands up, and he buries it. Tough shot by Rhodes. I mean, you can't guard that much better. Bonus basketball is like getting free dessert after you paid for a great meal. Let's see if we have it.
Krecklow to trigger. 2.1 left. Dixon at the buzzer. Overtime in Central Illinois.
We got a doozy, man.
Yes, we
got
do.
A heck of a ball game.
As we take a look at our game summary through 40 minutes, 9 ties, 10 lead changes. No surprise here as these two teams, two of the top teams in the Missouri Valley Conference at 2-0, doing battle here in just game number 3 of the Valley season.
And this is what has gotten us to this point. Watch this shot again. There's the entry. Hawkins is right there. I mean, in his pocket. Buries it. Those are those moments where the early morning practices and the coach yelling at you and the sprints and the weightlifting. You think, man, it's all worth it. But now you got to finish it and get the road win.
Paul Lusk trying to go to 3-0 with a road victory tonight. Last time, 3 straight victories to start MVC play, as we told you earlier. 2010, 2011, that was that Kyle Weems team. They actually won 7 straight to start out that 2010, 2011 campaign. Think about this. There is Jared Rhodes making the big 2 to force the 5-minute overtime. He's a part of that 3-headed monster that is the JUCO transfers that have come in and really added the punch to the Bears team this year. No Ronnie Russo, out with an ankle injury in tonight's game. And Alize Johnson has been in foul trouble and really hasn't been much of a presence at all. In fact, not even starting this overtime period for MSU. So we get a 5-minute overtime, and each team gets an added timeout for this extra 5-minute session. Bears coming off that overtime win on Saturday against Indiana State. And that is last touch by MSU.
Now, tough shot by Krecklow. I mean, that's a tough one to get to go down. And they had the offensive rebound and then lost it out of bounds.
This is the first overtime game for Illinois State this season. Shot clock is under 10.
Tough matchup. Krecklow against Deontay Hawkins. That's a tough matchup.
Lee, and off the mark to Fain. Couldn't get the alley-oop. Not too many times in this 4-year career for Paris Lee we've seen him not getting that right pass for an alley-oop or any type of pass for that matter.
Just a little bit too high.
Rhodes.
Man.
Think about how much time they take off on each possession, Cap. I mean, they're shooting the basketball when the shot clock's at single digits more times than not.
He is 5 of 9 from beyond the arc.
Lee with the answer.
Paris Lee 11 in the game now, 3 of 5 from downtown. I think he hit his first 2, and that's his first one in a long, long time.
Shot clock again down to single digits. Rhodes on McIntosh. Paris Lee,
Not a great possession.
in the land of the Giants, picks up the rebound. And Rhodes will pick up the foul.
Get him on a hold.
Foul number 10. Jared Rhodes, that's his 4th.
That's his 4th, Cap.
Is the 10th team foul. This one is a 2-shot foul. Kyle McIntosh at the line.
McIntosh has a very quiet 15 points as he's been dealing with foul trouble through the better part of this game.
Saddled with it.
Yeah.
24,
Alizé Johnson checking back in for Paul Lusk's team. Birds back up by 2. You see DJ Clayton checking in for Fulfane. Lee trying to get the steal.
Well, he is so disruptive.
Daquan, no. McIntosh with the rebound. And there you see the senior leadership of Paris Lee. Slow it down. We've got the 2-point lead. Let's work a little bit of this clock here. We're at home. McIntosh, strong to the hole.
What a spin move. Made sure he didn't charge and then gave you the Dennis Savard spinorama.
Lee with another rebound. That's 9 rebounds for Paris Lee tonight. Redbirds trying to extend their home winning streak to 14. 4-point lead. McIntosh going in, attacking the glass, too strong. Follow, no. Here come the Bears. Under a minute remaining. Miller.
Got to be over the top, Rhodes. And
On
that's
Jared
it for
Rhodes.
him.
That's his fifth.
I don't like the shot selection. I don't. Plenty of time left. You're 4 down with 56 seconds. Let's watch Mikal McIntosh. Look at this spin move. Look at that move. Just beautiful.
Well, Paul Lusk will take his time here in replacing Jared Rhodes, who finishes the night with 19 points.
Reuter's coming back. Another shooter on the court.
Yep.
But that last possession, you don't need a pull-up contested three right away as you get into the front court, where you don't even give your guys a chance to set up and rebound. There's plenty of time left.
There you see Jared on the MSU bench. What a night he's had.
I mean, we both agreed McIntosh had a quiet night.
Absolutely.
He's got 19 now.
I know.
When the game is on the line, that guy has stepped up.
2-possession game. Johnson for 3. Hits the back of the backboard, back the other way.
Paul Lusk was looking for a foul, saying his guy got hit beyond the arc. No call coming.
Bears seem to be forcing some shots here.
No question. They've panicked here down the stretch. There's a ton of time. Lengthen the game. Instead of shortening it, lengthen the game. Attack inside. You might get the old-fashioned three. But when you rush that three and you miss it, it's a Dunkirk.
Foul stops the clock with 43.3 remaining. Illinois State, known as a very good free throw shooting team, and going to come down to free throws for them to try to put this one away. 43.3 remaining. Redbirds have the 5-point lead in overtime.
No, with the game on the line, he has really stepped it up. The spinorama move was outstanding. He's banged some threes. He's been tough inside. He is a really, really good basketball player. That's just a tough shot right there. Here he is on the post again. Hang, get the hit, get the hoop. And you look up and you go, well, he wasn't playing great early. There's the spin move. And he's still got 19 points and has really strapped this team on his back here down the stretch on Doug Collins' court. Think about the great players that have come through here. There's some really good ones.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody in the league of Doug Collins, who I think is the best analyst in the game, and he was the #1 pick in the NBA draft. Pretty amazing.
And an unusual miss by McIntosh there.
How cool is that to have a court named after you? Scott Warman Court.
That will never happen.
Grammar school.
Reuter.
Nope. Again, too panicky. You don't need to jack a three at the top of the key contested with all this time left. Lengthen the game. I can't say it enough. Lengthen the game. Attack inside. You can always go inside out and get a three. But these pull up on the break, not my cup of tea.
Paris is at 77% from the line this season. And wow, the Redbirds all of a sudden have gone ice cold at the free throw line.
And I promise you, when Paul Lusk sits down with his team and watches this tape, he's going to say to them, guys, I'm telling you, run our offense and attack. Attack. Don't pull up. But when you got young players, they panic sometimes. 2 misses.
Dixon. Down to 3.
It's a one-possession game. Travel.
And
Wow. That's what I'm telling you. Length in this game, you're one possession from tying the ball game up.
Miller lost it.
Another contested shot, now you foul.
So now, 2 more very important free throws here coming from Mikhail McIntosh.
I mean, again, Miller's a really good player, but we saw him pull up on the break and miss. You can't do that. That is just not the type of shot you want with this much time left on the clock.
Four 5-point lead, 74-69. Reuter and Paul Lusk burns his only timeout here in overtime with 10.9 remaining at 74-71. That was a 2 by Reuter. Well, Missouri State had shot the lights out of threes for the better part of this game, but went ice cold from beyond the arc here in this 5-minute overtime session. And really the only reason they're still in it with the one-possession game is the fact that Illinois State hasn't been able to make free throws in this overtime period.
They missed at least 4 of them here in the overtime.
McIntosh and Paris Lee.
Missed twice. He missed the second of one and the first of the next, and then Lee missed 2 of them. But you just think back and you go, what if we'd gotten a better shot, guys? And I guarantee you that's what Paul Lusk is going to tell his guys tomorrow. It's a teaching moment.
Clayton just gets it in to McIntosh, and Reuter quickly fouls Mikhail with 9.4 remaining. That's 4 fouls on Reuter. Redbirds have been in the penalty situation for an eternity. How about Illinois State? Only 4 team fouls in the second half and in the overtime period.
There's another miss.
Krecklow checks back in.
Well, you've got shooters on the court here. Reuter and Krecklow can make them from anywhere. Miller's got range.
Boy, oh boy. Well, as we showed you earlier tonight, a full slate of games in the Missouri Valley Conference. Both Missouri State and Illinois State tied with Wichita State atop the standings heading into tonight's action. Shockers coming away with a big win against Drake in the Roundhouse. And who's going to share that lead? Will it be Illinois State or Missouri State? Birds up by 3. SIU wins in overtime. Bradley with another victory tonight. And Loyola comes away with a victory over Northern Iowa tonight in Chicago.
Illinois State gets Wichita State next week, I believe.
Yes, a week from Saturday. Illinois State, by the way, has missed 6 of their last 8 free throws, Cap. I wonder what these guys will be doing after practice tomorrow.
Right. Guys, when you get done running and you're really tired, get on the free throw line.
He missed it. Bears have a chance to go into a second overtime, and McIntosh is just fouled out of the game.
Smart foul, though. A lot of coaches will give you the look at 3. They'd rather not foul because they feel like you could end up beating them, but you're not even at the bonus yet, so why not use the foul? And now you make it 4.9. Do you foul here or do you give them the 3? I always would foul. I would not give the 3-point look.
I was just going to say I'd foul.
Better make sure you don't get beat on a 4-pointer. Another smart foul.
Yep.
Next one you will shoot. Next one you shoot.
tie it. Rebound,
That'll do it.
Hawkins, and the Redbirds win it 74-71 and extend their home winning streak to 14 straight.
Heck of a ball game.
Redbirds win it by 3 tonight. Our next Missouri Valley Conference Game of the Week presented by Aetna is coming up this Saturday as Illinois State travels to Terre Haute to take on the Sycamores of Indiana State. Tip-off is 1 Central. For Dave Kaplan, Jeff Graham, and our entire Niles Media Group crew, I'm Scott Warman. Thanks so much for joining us here in Central Illinois. Redbirds survive as they win it tonight in overtime, 74-71. Good night from Normal.